Welcome to the Winbert Foundation Digital Inclusion Program. A project budget is one of the most important foundations of successful project management. It provides a financial roadmap that helps ensure project objectives are achieved within approved cost limits while maximizing value for stakeholders. According to the principles reflected in the PMBOK Guide, 8th edition, budgeting is not simply about estimating costs. It is about making informed decisions, aligning financial resources with strategic objectives, monitoring expenditures, managing uncertainties, and delivering project outcomes efficiently. Effective budgeting enables project managers to allocate resources appropriately, control costs, anticipate financial risks, and communicate financial performance to stakeholders throughout the project lifecycle. A well-developed budget also supports accountability, transparency, and informed decision-making, increasing the likelihood of project success. In this course, Project Management Foundations, Budget, you'll be introduced to the fundamental concepts of project budgeting, including cost estimation, budget development, cost baselines, budget monitoring, and cost control. You will gain the foundational knowledge required to prepare, manage, and evaluate project budgets using PMBOK-aligned best practices. By the end of this course, you'll be able to define project budgeting and explain its importance in project management. Describe the relationship between project scope, schedule, resources, risks, and budget. Identify the key components of a project budget. Explain the processes involved in estimating project costs and developing a cost baseline. Distinguish between direct, indirect, fixed, and variable project costs. Describe common budgeting techniques and estimation methods used in project management. Understand the purpose of budget monitoring, cost control, and performance measurement throughout the project lifecycle. Recognize the role of contingency and management reserves in handling project uncertainty. Identify common causes of budget overruns and strategies for preventing them. Apply PMBOK-aligned budgeting principles to support effective project planning and successful project delivery. Module 1. What project budgeting is and its importance in project management. Project budgeting is the process of estimating, allocating, approving, and controlling the financial resources required to complete a project successfully. It establishes the expected cost of delivering the project scope and serves as a financial plan that guides decision-making throughout the project lifecycle. In PMBOK 8, budgeting is viewed as part of effective project planning and value delivery, rather than focusing only on spending limits. Project budgeting ensures that financial resources are aligned with project objectives, stakeholder expectations, identified risks, and the anticipated benefits of the project. A well-prepared budget enables project teams to use resources efficiently while maintaining quality, schedule, and scope. A project budget is developed after the project scope has been clearly defined and cost estimates have been prepared. It includes all expected project costs such as labor, materials, equipment, software, travel, training, permits, contingency reserves, and other expenses that may arise during execution. Once approved, the budget becomes the cost baseline against which actual project expenditures are measured. Throughout the project manager continuously compares actual costs with the approved budget, identifies variances, and takes corrective actions where necessary to keep the project financially healthy. The importance of project budgeting cannot be overstated. First, it supports effective planning by helping project managers determine whether sufficient financial resources are available before work begins. Second, it promotes accountability because every expenditure is linked to approved project activities. Third, budgeting improves decision-making by providing reliable financial information that helps project managers evaluate alternatives, prioritize activities, and respond to changes. It also strengthens stakeholder confidence because sponsors and clients are more willing to support projects that demonstrate sound financial management. Consider a non-governmental organization in Lagos planning a digital skills training program for 500 unemployed youths. The project manager prepares a budget covering venue rental, computers, internet access, trainers' fees, learning materials, participant refreshments, certificates, monitoring activities, and a contingency reserve for unexpected expenses. During implementation, the price of internet services increases unexpectedly. Because the budget included contingency funds, the project continues without reducing the number of participants or compromising training quality. Without proper budgeting, the program might have required additional funding or cancellation of important project activities. Similarly, a construction company building a community health center prepares a comprehensive project budget before construction begins. Regular monitoring reveals that the cost of cement has increased significantly. The project manager analyses the impact, consults stakeholders, and adjusts procurement schedules while using approved reserves to manage the increase. This proactive financial management prevents major delays and ensures the facility is completed within acceptable financial limits. Ultimately, project budgeting is much more than preparing a list of expenses. It is a strategic management tool that enables project managers to plan responsibly, control costs, manage uncertainty, communicate financial performance, and deliver value. Effective budgeting contributes directly to project success by ensuring that available financial resources are used wisely and that project objectives are achieved without unnecessary financial waste. Module 2. The relationship between project scope, schedule, resources, risks, and budget. Projects are delivered successfully when the key elements of scope, schedule, resources, risks, and budget are planned and managed as an integrated system rather than as separate components. PMBOK 8 emphasizes systems thinking and value delivery, recognizing that a change in one project element almost always affects the others. Project managers must therefore understand these relationships to make informed decisions, maintain project performance, and achieve stakeholder expectations. Failure to consider these interdependencies often leads to cost overruns, schedule delays, reduced quality, or incomplete project outcomes. Project scope defines the work required to achieve the project's objectives and produce the agreed deliverables. The scope directly influences the project budget because every activity, product, or service included in the scope requires financial resources. A larger scope generally requires more labor, equipment, materials, and time, resulting in a higher project budget. Conversely, reducing the scope can lower costs, but may also reduce the value delivered to stakeholders. For this reason, scope changes should always be evaluated for their financial implications before approval.
The project schedule determines when project activities will be performed and completed. Time and cost are closely connected. A compressed schedule may require hiring additional workers, paying overtime, or acquiring faster equipment, all of which increase project costs. On the other hand, project delays can also increase expenses through prolonged equipment rental, additional supervision costs, contract extensions, and inflation in material prices. Effective scheduling therefore helps maintain financial control throughout the project. Project resources include people, equipment, technology, facilities, and materials required to complete the work. Resource availability and productivity have a direct impact on both schedule and budget. Highly skilled personnel may command higher salaries, but often complete tasks more efficiently, reducing the likelihood of costly rework. Similarly, using modern equipment may involve higher initial costs, but can improve productivity and shorten project duration, ultimately providing greater value. Project risks are uncertain events that may positively or negatively affect project objectives. Risks influence budgeting because they create financial uncertainty. PMBOK recommends identifying risks early and including contingency reserves within the budget to respond to identified threats. For example, a software development project may face the risk of changing regulatory requirements. Setting aside contingency funds allows the project team to implement necessary system modifications without disrupting project delivery. Consider a company constructing a new office building. Initially, the project scope includes 5 floors with a completion period of 12 months. Midway through the project, the client requests 2 additional floors. This scope change requires additional construction materials, engineers, labor, permits, and inspection activities. The schedule must be extended, The budget increased, additional resources mobilized, and new risks such as material shortages and weather delays assessed. This example demonstrates how one change can affect every major project constraint simultaneously. Similarly, an organization implementing a nationwide ICT training program budgets for 1,000 participants. If registrations unexpectedly increase to 1,500 participants, the project scope expands. Additional trainers, computers, internet bandwidth, training materials, and venues become necessary. The schedule may require extra training sessions, while the budget must be revised and new operational risks managed. Successful project managers continuously evaluate these interconnected factors to maintain project alignment and deliver expected benefits. Understanding the relationship between scope, schedule, resources, risks, and budget enables project managers to make balanced decisions that optimize value, control costs, reduce uncertainty, and improve the likelihood of project success. Module 3. The key components of a project budget. A project budget is a comprehensive financial plan that outlines the estimated costs required to complete a project successfully. According to the principles of PMBOK Registered 8, a well-structured budget provides the foundation for effective cost management, decision-making, performance monitoring, and value delivery. Every project budget consists of several key components that work together to ensure that financial resources are allocated appropriately and used efficiently throughout the project life cycle. Understanding these components enables project managers to prepare realistic budgets, monitor spending, and respond effectively to financial changes. The first key component is labor costs, which includes salaries, wages, consultant fees, and benefits paid to everyone working on the project. Labor is often the largest project expense because skilled professionals are essential for delivering quality work. Project managers estimate labor costs based on the number of people required, their level of expertise, and the expected duration of their involvement. Accurate labor planning prevents understaffing, overstaffing, and unexpected payroll expenses. Another important component is material and equipment costs. These include the purchase or rental of machinery, computers, software, construction materials, office supplies, vehicles, and other physical resources needed to execute project activities. The project manager must estimate these costs carefully while considering possible price fluctuations, supplier availability, transportation expenses, and maintenance requirements. Reliable procurement planning helps reduce unnecessary expenditure and project delays. The budget should also include operational and administrative costs, sometimes referred to as indirect costs. These include utilities, communication services, insurance, licenses, permits, office rent, security, internet services, travel expenses, printing, and other support costs that enable project activities, but cannot always be linked directly to a single task. Although these expenses may appear small individually, together they can represent a significant portion of the total project budget. A critical component of every PMBOK-aligned budget is the contingency reserve. This reserve is set aside to address identified project risks that may increase costs during project execution. Examples include increases in material prices, equipment breakdowns, unexpected weather conditions, or additional testing requirements. Contingency reserves improve project resilience by allowing the project manager to respond to anticipated uncertainties without immediately requesting additional funding. In addition to contingency reserves, organizations may maintain management reserves for unforeseen events that were not identified during planning, but require executive approval before use. Consider a Lagos-based organization implementing a 6-month digital entrepreneurship program for young graduates. The project budget includes trainer fees, laptop rentals, internet subscriptions, venue hire, learning materials, transportation allowances, refreshments, monitoring and evaluation costs, and a contingency reserve for possible power supply challenges requiring generator fuel or additional internet services. During implementation, electricity outages become more frequent than expected. Because contingency funds were included, the project continues smoothly without interrupting training sessions or exceeding the approved budget. Similarly, a road construction project budgets for labor, heavy equipment rental, asphalt, fuel, safety equipment, environmental compliance fees, supervision, and contingency funds. When fuel prices increase during construction, The project manager uses part of the contingency reserve to manage the additional costs while continuing work according to plan. This demonstrates how each budget component contributes to successful project delivery and financial stability. A complete project budget therefore goes beyond listing expected expenses. It integrates direct costs, indirect costs, reserves, and operational requirements into a single financial framework that supports planning, execution, monitoring, and successful project completion. Module 4. The processes involved in estimating project costs and developing a cost baseline project cost estimation is the systematic process of predicting the financial resources required to complete a project successfully. According to PMBOK Registered 8, cost estimating is not simply about assigning figures to project activities. It involves analyzing the project scope, schedule, resources, risks, and assumptions to produce realistic and reliable cost estimates. Accurate cost estimation supports informed decision-making, effective resource allocation, and successful project delivery. Once estimates have been approved, they are combined to create the cost baseline, which serves as the benchmark for measuring project financial performance throughout execution. The first step in estimating project costs is to clearly define the project scope and develop the work breakdown structure, WBS. The WBS divides the project into smaller, manageable work packages, making it easier to estimate the cost of each activity accurately. A poorly defined scope often leads to inaccurate estimates because important tasks may be overlooked. Therefore, project managers collaborate with technical experts, stakeholders, and team members to ensure that all required work has been identified before estimating costs. The next process involves selecting appropriate cost estimation techniques. PMBOK identifies several commonly used methods, including expert judgment, analogous estimating, parametric estimating, bottom-up estimating, and three-point estimating. Expert judgment relies on the experience of knowledgeable professionals. Analogous estimating uses information from similar completed projects to predict costs. Parametric estimating applies statistical relationships, such as cost per unit, to estimate total expenses. Bottom-up estimating calculates the cost of individual work packages before combining them into the total project cost, while three-point estimating considers optimistic, most likely, and pessimistic cost scenarios to improve estimate accuracy. After individual cost estimates have been prepared, they are reviewed, validated, and consolidated into the overall project budget. During this stage, contingency reserves are added to address identified risks, while management reserves may be established by the organization for unforeseen events. Once approved by the project sponsor or relevant authority, the aggregated budget becomes the cost baseline. The cost baseline represents the approved version of the project budget and is used throughout the project to compare planned expenditures with actual costs, identify variances, and support corrective actions when necessary. Consider a company planning to build a 120 million community health center. The project manager first develops a work breakdown structure covering site preparation, foundation, building construction, roofing, electrical installations, plumbing, interior finishing, and landscaping. Cost estimates are prepared for each work package using supplier quotations, historical project data, and expert judgment. After adding contingency reserves for possible increases in construction material prices, the estimates are combined into a single approved budget, forming the project's cost baseline. Throughout construction, actual spending is regularly compared with the baseline to ensure the project remains financially on track. Similarly, a technology company launching a mobile banking application estimates software development costs, cloud infrastructure, cybersecurity testing, staff training, licensing, and marketing expenses. During execution, actual expenditures are monitored against the approved cost baseline. When testing costs exceed estimates due to additional security requirements, the project manager uses approved contingency funds while reporting the variance to stakeholders. This disciplined approach enables informed decision-making without losing control of the project's financial performance. Developing reliable cost estimates and establishing a realistic cost baseline are essential practices that help project managers control expenditures, manage uncertainty, improve forecasting, and increase the likelihood of delivering projects within approved financial limits. Module 5. The difference between direct, indirect, fixed, and variable project costs. Effective project budgeting requires project managers to understand the different types of costs that may be incurred during a project's life cycle. PMBOK Registered 8 emphasizes that accurate cost classification improves budgeting, forecasting, cost control, and decision-making. 4 of the most important cost categories are direct costs, indirect costs, fixed costs, and variable costs. Each category influences the project budget differently, and correctly identifying them enables project managers to allocate resources efficiently and monitor financial performance more effectively. Direct costs are expenses that can be directly traced to a specific project activity or deliverable. These costs are incurred solely because the project exists and would not arise if the project were not being executed. Examples include wages paid to project team members, construction materials, equipment rented specifically for the project, software licenses purchased for project use, and consultant fees. Since direct costs are closely linked to project tasks, they are usually easier to estimate and monitor. Accurate estimation of direct costs helps ensure that project activities have sufficient funding without unnecessary overspending. Indirect costs, also known as overhead costs, are expenses that support the project but cannot be directly linked to one specific activity. These costs are shared across several projects or organizational functions. Examples include office rent, electricity, internet services, security, administrative staff salaries, insurance, and organizational management expenses. Although indirect costs are not directly attributable to a single project task, they remain essential for project success because they provide the environment and support systems required for project execution. Organizations often allocate indirect costs using predetermined formulas or cost allocation methods. Project costs can also be classified as fixed or variable based on how they respond to changes in project activity levels. Fixed costs remain constant regardless of the amount of work completed within a defined range. Examples include office lease payments, annual software subscriptions, project insurance premiums, or equipment purchased at a fixed price. Whether the project serves 100 or 200 beneficiaries, these costs generally remain unchanged during the project period. In contrast, variable costs change according to the level of project activity or output. The more work performed, the higher the variable costs. Examples include fuel consumption, printing training manuals, participant meals, transportation allowances, construction materials, and hourly labor hired based on workload. Effective management of variable costs is important because they can increase rapidly if the project scope expands or productivity declines. Consider a nonprofit organization in Lagos implementing an ICT skills training program. Trainer salaries, laptop rentals, and learning materials are direct costs because they are specifically required for the training. The organization's office rent and internet subscription are indirect costs because they support several programs simultaneously. The annual software license for the learning management system represents a fixed cost, while refreshments and printed manuals increase as more participants enroll, making them variable costs. Similarly, in a road construction project, the purchase of asphalt and payment of construction workers are direct costs. The contractor's head office expenses are indirect costs. The monthly lease of heavy machinery is a fixed cost, while fuel usage increases as equipment operates for longer periods, making it a variable cost. Understanding these cost classifications enables project managers to prepare more accurate budgets, monitor expenditures effectively, analyze cost behavior, and make informed decisions that improve project performance and financial sustainability. Module 6. Common budgeting techniques and estimation methods used in project management. Developing an accurate project budget requires the use of reliable budgeting techniques and cost estimation methods. According to PMBOK Registered 8, project managers should apply estimation approaches that are appropriate for the project's size, complexity, available information, and level of uncertainty. No single estimation method is suitable for every project. Instead, project managers often combine several techniques to improve the accuracy of cost estimates and support sound financial decision-making. Choosing the right method helps reduce budget overruns, improve stakeholder confidence, and increase the likelihood of delivering the project within approved financial limits. One of the most widely used methods is expert judgment. This approach relies on the knowledge and experience of individuals who have managed similar projects. Experts use historical information, lessons learned, and professional expertise to estimate project costs. For example, an experienced construction engineer can estimate the cost of building a classroom block by comparing it with similar projects completed in recent years, while adjusting for inflation and current market conditions. Another common technique is analogous estimating, sometimes called top-down estimating. This method uses the actual cost of a previous, similar project as the basis for estimating the cost of a new project. It is particularly useful during the early stages of project planning when detailed information is limited. Although analogous estimating is faster and less expensive, its accuracy depends on how closely the new project resembles the previous one. Parametric estimating uses measurable data and mathematical relationships to estimate project costs. For instance, if training one participant costs $50,000 and a project plans to train 300 participants, the estimated training cost would be $15 million. This technique works well when reliable historical data and consistent cost relationships are available. PMBOK also recommends bottom-up estimating, which is generally one of the most accurate methods. In this approach, the project is divided into smaller work packages using the work breakdown structure, WBS. Each activity is estimated individually, and all estimates are added together to produce the total project cost. Although this method requires more time and effort, it usually provides higher accuracy because no significant project activity is overlooked. Another useful method is three-point estimating, which considers uncertainty by calculating three possible cost estimates: the optimistic estimate, the most likely estimate, and the pessimistic estimate. By analyzing these three scenarios, project managers develop more realistic budgets and improve risk planning. Consider a Lagos-based organization planning a 6-month digital skills program for unemployed youths. During the initial planning stage, the project manager uses analogous estimating by reviewing the costs of a previous ICT training program. As planning progresses, bottom-up estimating is applied to calculate the costs of trainers, laptops, internet services, venue rental, training materials, transportation, refreshments, and monitoring activities. Three-point estimating is also used to account for possible increases in internet subscription fees and transportation costs. Combining these techniques produces a more realistic and reliable budget. Using appropriate budgeting techniques enables project managers to estimate costs accurately, manage uncertainty effectively, allocate resources wisely, and establish a strong financial foundation for successful project delivery. Module 7. The purpose of budget monitoring, cost control, and performance measurement throughout the project life cycle. A project budget is only effective when it is actively monitored and managed throughout the project life cycle. According to PMBOK Registered 8, budget monitoring, cost control, and performance measurement are continuous processes that help ensure project resources are used efficiently and that project objectives are achieved within approved financial limits. Rather than waiting until the end of a project to evaluate financial performance, project managers regularly compare planned costs with actual expenditures, identify variances, and implement corrective actions when necessary. These activities support informed decision-making, improve accountability, and increase the likelihood of successful project delivery. Budget monitoring is the process of tracking actual project spending against the approved cost baseline. It enables project managers to determine whether project activities are progressing according to plan or whether corrective action is required. Regular monitoring also provides early warning signs of financial problems before they become serious. For example, if a project has spent 60% of its budget but completed only 40% of the planned work, the project manager can investigate the cause and implement strategies to prevent further overspending. Cost control involves managing changes to the project budget and ensuring that expenditures remain within approved limits. It includes reviewing project expenses, approving budget changes when necessary, controlling unnecessary spending, and responding to cost variances. PMBOK encourages project managers to use change control processes so that any increase in project costs is properly justified, evaluated, and approved before implementation. Effective cost control prevents waste, protects project value, and ensures that financial decisions remain aligned with project objectives. Performance measurement evaluates whether the project is delivering expected results in relation to its planned cost, schedule, and scope. One commonly used technique is earned value management, EVM, which compares the value of completed work with the planned budget and the actual amount spent. By analyzing performance indicators, project managers can determine whether the project is ahead of schedule, behind schedule, under budget, or over budget. This information enables timely decision-making and improves communication with stakeholders. Consider a nonprofit organization in Lagos implementing a youth entrepreneurship program with an approved budget of 80 million. During monthly budget reviews, the project manager discovers that transportation expenses are increasing because fuel prices have risen significantly. After analyzing the variance, the team revises transportation schedules, negotiates better rates with transport providers, and uses part of the approved contingency reserve. Continuous monitoring prevents the project from exceeding its overall budget, while ensuring that training activities continue as planned. Similarly, a company constructing a manufacturing facility measures project performance every month by comparing planned construction progress with actual work completed and the amount spent. When concrete prices increase unexpectedly, the project manager reports the cost variance, evaluates alternative suppliers, and seeks approval for necessary budget adjustments through the project's change control process. These actions maintain financial transparency and minimize disruption to the construction schedule. Budget monitoring, cost control, and performance measurement are essential throughout the project lifecycle because they provide accurate financial information, support proactive management, improve stakeholder confidence, and help ensure that projects deliver their intended value within approved financial constraints. Module 8. The role of contingency and management reserves in handling project uncertainty. Every project is exposed to uncertainty because future events cannot be predicted with complete accuracy. According to PMBOK Registered 8, effective project managers recognize that uncertainty is a normal part of project management and plan for it during the budgeting process. One of the most important ways to prepare for uncertainty is by including contingency reserves and management reserves in the project budget. These financial reserves help organizations respond to unexpected events without unnecessarily disrupting project objectives, schedules, or stakeholder expectations. Although both types of reserves provide financial protection, they serve different purposes and are managed differently. A contingency reserve is money set aside to address identified risks that have been analyzed during project planning. These are events that are known to be possible, even though it is uncertain whether they will occur. Examples include increases in the prices of construction materials, equipment breakdowns, transportation delays, or temporary shortages of skilled labor. During the risk management process, the project team evaluates the likelihood and potential impact of these risks and estimates the amount of money required if they occur. Because contingency reserves are included within the approved project budget, the project manager is usually authorized to use them when the identified risks materialize. In contrast, a management reserve is an amount of money held by senior management to address unknown or unforeseen risks that were not identified during planning. These events are sometimes called unknown unknowns because they could not reasonably have been anticipated. Since management reserves are outside the project's cost baseline, they are generally released only after formal approval by the project sponsor or organizational leadership. This ensures that significant budget changes are carefully evaluated before additional funds are committed. Consider a road construction project in Lagos. During planning, the project team identifies the possibility of moderate increases in the cost of asphalt due to seasonal demand. A contingency reserve is included in the budget to cover this risk. Midway through construction, asphalt prices increase as expected, and the project manager uses part of the contingency reserve to absorb the additional cost without delaying the project. However, several months later, an unexpected government regulation requires additional environmental compliance testing that had not been anticipated during planning. Because this risk was unknown, the organization approves funding from the management reserve after reviewing the project's financial impact. Similarly, a nonprofit organization implementing a nationwide ICT training program anticipates possible fluctuations in internet service costs and includes a contingency reserve in its budget. During implementation, internet subscription fees increase, and the reserve is used to maintain uninterrupted online learning. Later, a major cyber attack affects several training platforms, requiring the organization to purchase emergency cybersecurity services that were never considered during planning. Since this expense was unforeseen, senior management authorizes the use of the management reserve to address the issue and protect project objectives. By distinguishing between identified and unforeseen risks, contingency and management reserves strengthen project resilience, improve financial preparedness, support effective risk management, and increase the likelihood of delivering successful projects despite uncertainty. Module 9. Common causes of budget overruns and strategies for preventing them. One of the greatest challenges in project management is keeping project costs within the approved budget. According to PMBOK Registered 8, budget overruns occur when the actual cost of a project exceeds the approved cost baseline. While some cost increases may result from unavoidable external events, many budget overruns can be prevented through effective planning, monitoring, risk management, and stakeholder engagement. Understanding the common causes of budget overruns enables project managers to identify warning signs early and implement strategies that improve financial performance and project success. One of the most common causes of budget overruns is poor project planning. If the project scope is not clearly defined or important activities are overlooked during planning, the budget will likely underestimate the true cost of delivering the project. Incomplete requirements often result in additional work during execution, increasing labor, material, and equipment costs. PMBOK emphasizes the importance of developing a detailed scope statement and work breakdown structure, WBS, to ensure that all project work is identified before cost estimates are prepared. Another major cause is scope creep, which occurs when new features, activities, or deliverables are added to the project without proper review and approval. Even small changes can significantly increase project costs if they require additional resources or extend the project schedule. To prevent scope creep, project managers should follow a formal change control process that evaluates the impact of every proposed change on the project's scope, schedule, budget, risks, and expected benefits before implementation. Inaccurate cost estimates also contribute to budget overruns. Estimates based on unrealistic assumptions, outdated pricing information, or insufficient data may fail to reflect actual project costs. PMBOK recommends using reliable estimation methods, consulting experienced professionals, reviewing historical project data, and validating estimates before approving the project budget. Regular market reviews also help project teams adjust for inflation, supply chain disruptions, and changes in labor costs. Unexpected risks and poor resource management can also increase project expenses. Equipment failures, shortages of skilled workers, weather disruptions, or delays in material delivery may require additional spending if adequate contingency planning has not been performed. Continuous risk assessment, resource planning, and budget monitoring allow project managers to respond quickly before minor issues become major financial problems. Consider a company constructing a new office complex in Abuja. During planning, the project team underestimated the cost of steel and failed to include contingency reserves for possible price increases. As construction progressed, steel prices rose sharply, causing significant budget overruns. In addition, the client requested design modifications after construction had already begun. Because there was no effective change control process, the additional work increased labor costs and delayed project completion. A more detailed planning process, realistic cost estimates, and stronger scope management would have reduced these financial challenges. Similarly, a nonprofit organization in Lagos launches a digital literacy program for young entrepreneurs. Midway through implementation, participant numbers exceed initial projections, requiring additional trainers, learning materials, and larger training venues. Fortunately, the project manager conducts regular budget reviews, uses contingency reserves appropriately, and obtains formal approval for budget adjustments before expanding the program. As a result, the project remains financially controlled while successfully meeting stakeholder expectations. Preventing budget overruns requires proactive planning, accurate estimating, disciplined scope management, continuous performance monitoring, effective risk management, and transparent communication with stakeholders. By applying these PMBOK principles consistently, project managers can improve financial control and increase the likelihood of delivering projects within approved budget limits. Module 10. Applying PMBOK-aligned budgeting principles to support effective project planning and successful project delivery. Applying PMBOK, Registered 8 budgeting principles, enables project managers to make informed financial decisions throughout the project lifecycle, while ensuring that projects deliver value to stakeholders. Budgeting is not a one-time activity carried out at the beginning of a project. It is a continuous process that supports planning, execution, monitoring, and project closure. PMBOK encourages project managers to integrate budgeting with project scope, schedule, risk management, resource planning, stakeholder engagement, and performance measurement. When these areas are managed together, organizations are better positioned to deliver projects on time, within budget, and according to the required quality standards. The first budgeting principle is to develop realistic and evidence-based cost estimates. Project managers should prepare estimates using reliable techniques such as expert judgment, analogous estimating, parametric estimating, and bottom-up estimating. Historical project data, current market prices, supplier quotations, and lessons learned should also be considered to improve estimation accuracy. Unrealistic estimates often create financial pressure during project execution and reduce stakeholder confidence. Another important principle is to align the budget with the approved project scope and schedule. Every planned activity, deliverable, and milestone should have sufficient financial resources allocated to support successful implementation. If the project scope changes, the budget should be reviewed and updated through an approved change control process. This alignment helps prevent scope creep, unnecessary spending, and project delays while ensuring that financial resources continue to support project objectives. PMBOK also emphasizes the importance of continuous budget monitoring and performance measurement. Project managers should regularly compare actual expenditures with the approved cost baseline, analyze cost variances, and implement corrective actions when necessary. Timely financial reporting promotes accountability and enables stakeholders to make informed decisions. At the same time, contingency reserves should be managed carefully to address identified risks, while management reserves should only be used with appropriate authorization for unforeseen events. Effective communication is another essential budgeting principle. Project managers should maintain open communication with sponsors, team members, suppliers, and other stakeholders regarding project costs, financial risks, budget changes, and overall performance. Transparent communication builds trust, encourages timely decision-making, and reduces misunderstandings that may affect project success. Consider a state government implementing a public healthcare improvement project involving the renovation of several primary health centers. Before work begins, the project manager develops a detailed budget using bottom-up estimating and supplier quotations. During implementation, monthly financial reviews reveal that transportation costs are increasing because of rising fuel prices. The project manager uses approved contingency reserves, negotiates improved transport contracts, and provides regular financial reports to the project sponsor. These actions enable the project to remain within acceptable financial limits while completing the planned renovations on schedule. Similarly, a technology company in Lagos launches a digital payment platform. Throughout the project manager monitors software development costs, cybersecurity expenses, testing activities, and staff training against the approved cost baseline. When additional security features become necessary, a formal change request is submitted, the financial impact is assessed, and the revised budget is approved before implementation. By following PMBOK-aligned budgeting principles, the organization successfully delivers a secure, high-quality product while maintaining effective financial control. Applying PMBOK budgeting principles helps project managers improve planning, strengthen cost management, reduce financial uncertainty, support informed decision-making, and deliver sustainable value to stakeholders. These practices form the foundation of responsible financial management and significantly increase the likelihood of successful project delivery. We have now come to the end of this course. Thank you.